The Star Wars galaxy is absolutely packed with aliens and terrifyingly massive creatures, from those on desolate planets, others in arena-style battles, and some even found deep in space. Among these are dangerous monsters, intent on killing those who wander too close to their natural habitat, and, in some cases, these beasts are held captive and used for the personal entertainment of sinister crime lords or bloodthirsty crowds. But which are truly the largest? That's why we're here. In no particular order, these are the 10 largest creatures in all of Star Wars. Number 1. Exogorth. Also known as giant space slugs, this is the creature seen in The Empire Strikes Back. The Exogorth was so large, it housed an entire ecosystem within its body. On the run from Darth Vader and his fleet of Star Destroyers, our rebel heroes are forced into an asteroid field near Hoth and land inside what they believe to be a cave. While making repairs to the Falcon, a group of bat-like Minocs begin to feed on the ship's power supply. When Han and the others investigate, they soon realize their hiding place is no cave. The heroes make a narrow escape as the Exogorth takes one last lunging bite at its prey. The Exogorth was known to reach up to 900 meters in length when fully grown. I mean, the Millennium Falcon was almost 35 meters long and 26 meters wide. And just look at the size of it compared to the Exogorth's teeth. Space slugs could live unbelievably long lives. Sio, the creature that resided within the Hoth asteroid belt, was estimated to have aged over 1 billion years. What's crazy is that Star Wars Legends actually introduced the predator of the Exogorth, known as the Colossus Wasp, a kilometer-long space insect whose bodies were later converted into starships. Number 2. Krayt Dragon. The term Krayt Dragon actually referred to a number of large carnivorous reptilian species that hailed from Tatooine, including the smaller and more common Canyon Krayt and the much larger Greater Krayt, which is obviously the one we'll focus on. Using its 10 strong legs, the Krayt Dragon literally swam through the shifting sands in search of prey to ambush and devour. They were even known to burrow within abandoned Sarlac pits after eating the Sarlac that resided there. Don't worry, we'll get to them shortly. These incredible beasts were also capable of spitting acidic venom when threatened, which could dissolve an enemy on contact. Some Tusken Raiders studied the digestion cycle of Krayt Dragons for generations and fed banthas to them to protect their settlements and make the dragon sleep longer. It was actually the sound of a Krayt Dragon that Obi-Wan Kenobi mimicked to scare off the Tusken Raiders attacking Luke Skywalker. Krayt Dragons grew continuously throughout their lives to an average length of almost 45 meters and weighed around 2,000 kilograms. Seen in all its glory in The Mandalorian Chapter 9, The Marshal, the enormous reptile terrorized the people of Mos Pelgo. With the help of Cobb Vanth and a small army made up of townsfolk and sand people, Din Djarin allows himself to be swallowed by the beast, along with a bantha covered in explosives, and is able to destroy the Krayt Dragon from the inside. Krayt Dragons, despite their fierceness, were hunted for the precious pearls found in their bodies. Those pearls were exceedingly rare and valuable, the ultimate trophy of Tatooine. The pearls were actually made of kyber and could be used in the construction of a rare lightsaber that emitted a howling sound when ignited. Before we dive deeper into today's video, I've got something special for you. Imagine a game where you get to control legendary Norse gods wielding incredible powers. Sounds fun, right? There's an event happening right now in Raid Shadow Legends called the Asgard Divide, and it's running until November 22nd. It features 4 new champions based on Norse mythology: Loki the Deceiver, Thor Feyhammer, Odin Feyfather, and Freya Feyweaver. Each one has their own unique set of skills, like Freya with her protective abilities, or Odin who can dish out serious damage while bringing allies back into the fight. And you can get Loki for free by just logging in for 7 days before October 23rd. There's also a special event dungeon where you can face off against Odin himself. Raid Shadow Legends has been a lot of fun for me, especially with these new champions that add new layers of strategy to the game. I love experimenting with different combinations, especially in the dungeons and PvP battles. It's definitely worth giving a try if you're looking for something new. If you're interested, check out the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen. You'll also get a starter pack with the epic champion Grizzled Jarl, and you'll get another starter pack after reaching level 15 that includes an epic knight errant from Bannerlord's faction as well. Plus, come join my clan, Red Squadron, and we can take on some challenges together. Number 3, Sando Aqua Monster. Spotted in the Phantom Menace, the seas of Naboo were teeming with all manner of terrifying life forms.
There's always a bigger fish.
Though none were as massive and feared as the Sando Aqua Monster. These enormous, muscular predators that could be found in the oceans and lakes of Naboo. They could grow up to 200 meters in length, but because there were few of them left on Naboo, they obtained an almost legendary status. Thanks to their sharp teeth, they were capable of biting through the strong armor of other massive beasts like OPC killers. Despite their immense size, Darth Vader actually managed to kill one that was 932 years old. Number 4, Zillow Beast. First appearing in the Clone Wars and later in the Bad Batch, the enormous Zillow Beast was thought to be extinct before a battle on the planet Maldo between the Republic and the Separatists awakened one that had laid dormant. Rendered unconscious and brought to security for study, Supreme Chancellor Palpatine hoped to use the creature's thick armored scales to aid the Republic in the war. However, the Zillow Beast awoke, enraged, and the Republic army was forced to kill it and end its rampage through the planet-wide city. But not before Palpatine had it cloned. At 97 meters tall, the Zillow Beast was considered at the top of its food chain until its presumed extinction. Its lengthy, whip-like tail contained 8 sharp spikes, and the beast itself uniquely possessed a third arm protruding from its back. Its heavy-plated armor was invulnerable to explosions, blaster fire, and even lightsaber strikes, which is what piqued Palpatine's interest in Clone Wars, as he envisioned armor made of it. Anakin Skywalker discovered that gaps in the creature's armored plates could be exploited to damage or stun the creature. Gas bombs were also effective. Zillow Beasts fed on electric energy, with the electro-proton bomb able to wake it from its slumber. They could feast on numerous sources of electricity, including the types found on starships and planetary power grids. Upon direct contact with a powerful electric source, they would immediately begin regenerating damaged limbs and grow in size until reaching their full strength. The Zillow Beast was also possibly sentient, reinforced by the creature's hostile behavior towards Palpatine, whom it observed ordering its death. Number 5, Perill. We now land on the one creature on our list that won't try to eat you. Perill were a semi-sentient species of massive whales that lived in deep space, traveling from star system to star system. Regular Perill were the size of a small starship, around 30 meters long, while the Perill Ultra was significantly larger. Living in groups consisting of up to dozens of individuals, Perill were able to fly through hyperspace by creating Simu tunnels. The natural ability of the Perill eventually inspired sentients to develop hyperdrive technology. According to Harris Sadula, most spacers considered Perill to be pests. This was because they had a habit of approaching and flying into starships near their flight paths, and ships often crashing into their swarms during hyperspace travel. This led many to fire at the space whales on sight. Ezra Bridger utilized the Perill's ability during the liberation of Lothal by bonding with the Perill and having them wrap their tentacles around Thrawn's capital ship and jump to hyperspace. Ahsoka Tano later utilized the Perill to follow Bridger to a neighboring galaxy with the intent of preventing Thrawn's return. Number 6, Sarlac. Sarlacs were dangerous carnivorous creatures located on Tatooine and several other planets throughout the galaxy. They began their lives as spores and were able to travel great distances. Once Sarlacs reached their maturity after 30,000 years, they would burrow themselves underground, feeding on creatures and humanoids unfortunate enough to fall into their mouths or be grabbed by their tentacles. 100 meters in height its entire body was buried, save for its massive mouth and beaked tongue. The Sarlac had several appendages that branched off from its buried body, and many stomachs. Victims of the Sarlac would be overcome with toxic fumes and would either die from suffocation, the acid, or both. According to Jabba the Hutt, prey was allegedly digested for over 1,000 years due to the creature's weak stomach acid. Despite this, the stomach acid was still potent enough to have scarred Boba Fett's armor after only hours of exposure. There was some debate as to whether the creature was an animal or an unusual carnivorous plant, though most found the creature far too dangerous to merit an extended study to find out. Sarlacs were fairly durable, with the one located in the Great Pit of Carkoon surviving internal damage caused by Boba Fett tearing and burning his way out of its stomach. This Sarlac would survive for at least 5 more years before being killed off by Fennec Shand with a seismic charge dropped from Slave 1.
Fire in the hole!
Number 7. Maldo Spiders. A species of knobby white ice spiders lived in the ice caves on the planet Maldo Kreis. The spiders ranged in size from very small hatchlings to huge starship-sized ones. The spiders attacked Din Djarin's ship, the Razor Crest, with one preventing it from taking off. Unlike most spiders, the head of the ice spider was in the center of their body, hanging downward and ending in a circular mouth composed of outer, grasping teeth and inner rows of smaller teeth, presumably to grind up their prey. They could produce and chew webbing from their mouths and had green blood. The species laid soft-shelled eggs in which their youth would hatch. Number 8. Rancor. Kept as a pet in Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi, the Rancor is a reptilian predator native to planets like Felucia and Dathomir. Jabba took immense pleasure in feeding the monster's subordinates whenever one got out of line. When Luke Skywalker points a blaster at Jabba following failed negotiations for the carbonite-encased Han Solo, the crime lord released a trapdoor that sent Luke and a Gamorrean guard into the Rancor's pit. The creature quickly devoured the guard and set its sights on Luke, only to be defeated by the young and resourceful Jedi. Standing around 5 meters tall, with their long arms, immense jaws, and armored hides that could withstand blast of fire, Rancors were formidable predators, but most were not inherently vicious to sentient life, though they would eat just about anything they could get a hold of. Number 9. Akay. A trio of creatures were introduced in Attack of the Clones, released to carry out the execution of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, and Padme Amidala in the Geonosis arena. This included the Nexu, Reek, and the Akay, which was the largest of the 3. The Akay was an amphibious reptilian crustacean with 6 deadly claws and a mouthful of razor-sharp teeth. The Akay used an organ beneath its chin to sense the body electricity given off by its prey, which it would then spear with its pointed legs. Though they typically lived underwater on the planet Vandoxa, Akays came on land to hunt their planet's plains. Vicious creatures possessing agile fury and bestial rage, Akays were strong enough to bite through a polearm and smash a stone pillar to the ground. The Akay was directed towards Obi-Wan Kenobi in the arena, and though the beast didn't make it easy, the Jedi was able to kill it with a downward stab with his lightsaber. Number 10. Rathtar. Rolling balls of mayhem, these monsters were brought to the big screen in The Force Awakens. With several slashing tentacles and mouths full of jagged teeth, Han Solo and Chewbacca brought 3 of the beasts aboard their freighter for delivery to a client. Their mission went slightly off course when they found the Millennium Falcon with Rey, Finn, and BB-8 on board. When members of 2 separate crime syndicates boarded and the Rathtars were set loose, chaos ensued until the heroes were able to escape on the Falcon. Regarded as one of the most dangerous beasts in the galaxy, the cephalopods displayed an affinity for pack hunting, but if in danger from a Rathtar, one's best hope was to hide, as the creatures were largely blind. Bonus, Sama Verminoth. That's right, you're getting a bonus number 11. Full transparency, I finished this entire video before realizing I forgot about this guy. So, Here goes. Some Verminoth were a massive spaceborne species that lived in the Akadezi Maelstrom, a cluster of matter that encompassed the planet Kessel. At 7,432 meters long, they are by far the largest creature we know of in Star Wars canon. They sported multiple eyes and numerous large tentacles that were armed with suckers and electrified stingers, which they used to trap prey. Han Solo and the rest of Beckett's gang unintentionally awakened a Sama Verminoth near the Maw cluster while escaping Kessel in the Millennium Falcon. Solo was able to distract the massive creature by ejecting the Falcon's escape pod, which the massive entity chased into a gravity well. Another subspecies of the Sama was known to exist in the Red Honeycomb Zone in the Unknown Regions, en route to Exogorth, which was encountered by Darth Vader. But which of these massive creatures is your favorite? Which is the most terrifying? Did we miss any on our list? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to use the link or QR code to get those bonuses and join the fun on Raid Shadow Legends. Come join us to chat more at our community Discord server, linked in the description. If you enjoyed today's Star Wars video, we've got more on the screen for you right now. Also make sure to drop a like, and if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe to join the Red Squadron. Until next time, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you. Red 5, standing by.